What's going on, Sky Squad? We are back in the building. Yes, indeed. We are back in this good building, and we got some news to talk about today. Okay, we got some things to talk about today. I'm actually excited about every single piece of information that we got to talk about. We are talking about surprise, surprise. Your girl Phaedra is returning back to Bravo. I'm going to tell you about exactly how in just 1 second. And then we also got to talk about KANDI Burruss is blowing the literization off of this secret drama that occurred between her and Porsha and Nene. And if you paid close attention, you will know that your girl Kenya Moore kind of exposed a little bit of this when she was on that good Speak on It about a couple of weeks ago. So refer back to KANDI Speak on It. I'm gonna put the link in the description as soon as I get done with this video. But she gave us the clues back then in that video, but we got even more information from KANDI in this new interview. And it's a lot of good information that I'm about to give to y'all. So you just hold on to your hats, okay? Hold on to your hats. But before we get into that, make sure you guys let me know. Drop down in the chatterization where you guys are watching from. I want to see where my people are from. I want to see what the Sky Squad is. Hey, Andromeda Galaxy. Come on now, Chi-Town. We got who else in St. Louis, Namibia, Jamaica, Connecticut, Florida. Who else up in here? Oklahoma City, Newark, New Jersey, VA in the building, the UK, South Carolina, DeSoto, Texas. Come on now, Philippines, Bermuda, Columbus, Barbados. I see a lot of Jamaica in the house, a lot of Jamaica. White Plains, Tennessee, California, New Bern, San Francisco, Jersey, Augusta, Baldwin, Jersey, Brooklyn, South Africa. Hey, let me tell y'all something. I'm so excited to be going to South Africa at the end of the year. I cannot wait to go back. Oh my God, Cape Town, here I come. Anyway, let's get down to it, okay? First things first. We got to talk about your girl, Phaedra. Now, the people have been crying for Phaedra to come back onto the good Bravo for some time. Well, she is going to be coming back, but let me give you the details on how. So here is the tea, okay? Now, Watch What Happens Live will air a special Bravo Blast from the Past, Real Housewives edition, on May the 6th. So we're going to get into the entire week filled with activity right now, okay? So it's going to be kind of like a sweeps week, okay? Watch What Happens Live will air a week-long series of special episodes in May, calling it Our Gift to Bravo Fanatics, okay? Now, the event will kick off on May 3rd with a Blast from the Past episode featuring cast members from fan favorite shows like NYC Prep, Ladies of London, Gallery Girls, and Millionaire Matchmaker. Now, for one, I ain't watched those other shows, but I did watch Ladies of London, and that thing was good, okay? If you ain't watched Ladies of London, I think you could catch it on Hulu right now. That's a good show right there. Okay, then they will celebrate the Real Housewives of New York City's upcoming season 13 premiere with a special episode on May 4th. Now, you guys know our girls Ebony K. Williams and Brashawn Shaw will be on the latest season of the Real Housewives of New York. So we will be tuning into that. Now, the following day, the Real Housewives of New Jersey will air its Real House Husbands of New Jersey special on May 5th. During which the house husbands will spill spicy, juicy details on the show's most recent season. Now, I'm going to tell you what would have been another good idea. It would have been another good idea to do a Real Husbands of Married to Medicine, okay? Because the people have spoken, and they love the scene with the husbands on the Married to Medicine this past week. So they may want to think about doing something like that too. Now, here's where it gets juicy, because on the next day, Bravo will present the Blast from the Past, Real Housewives edition, when former housewives Jacqueline Loretta from New Jersey, Gretchen Rossi from OC, which, I mean, I could kind of take her out the bunch, Jill Zarin from New York City, Phaedra Parks from Atlanta, and Adriana Demora from Miami, and Taylor Armstrong from Beverly Hills. Now, to me, this was some good news, because I'm here for Phaedra and I'm here for Taylor. Taylor was messy on Beverly Hills, so I'm here for it. So then at the end of the week on Mother's Day, we will have the Real Housewives, House Kids of Bravo that will air on Mother's Day, May 9th. And it's going to feature Brielle Bierman, Riley Burruss, Gia Giudice, and a whole bunch of other kids. Okay. So we got that going on. So your girl Phaedra will be returning back to Bravo on May 6th for all of you Phaedra fans. Now, I don't think that this means she coming back to Housewives in any way, shape, or form. But what it does mean is that Bravo is at least willing to, you know, extend the olive branch and the courtesy of saying, hey, come on back. We know the fans want to see you. So let me know in that good chatterization if you guys are excited about that. Now, we had a super chat up in the building. Thank you for the super chat. Valvida, who says, Miss Phaedra and her Southern Belle shade is surely missed on this show. Let me tell you, it's surely missed on this show. Now, I want to say thank you for that super chat. We got another super chat in the building. Easter Washington, thank you so much. Says you give me life. Love you, boo. Love you right back. Thank you so much for that super chat. Listen, we appreciate the love, y'all. Okay, let's get to the real tea. Okay, let's get to the real tea. Now, in order for me to get to this tea, I gotta bring up this photo right here. Okay, because this drama centers around these four ladies. Now, this is the real meat and potatoes, and I'm not gonna work through this whole story all extra fast or nothing like that. I'm gonna take my time because I want to give you guys all the accurate information so that you know exactly the order of events in which everything happened. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is, if you guys head on over to Vulture, okay, if you head on over to Vulture, they did an amazing article on Bravo. They call it the Soul of Bravo. A year of national reckonings on race and equality has tested how real the Housewives should be. Now, they go into a lot on a lot of different shows with a lot of things that occurred, right? And I would highly suggest you read this article. I'm going to actually place this article in the chatterization right now, but I'm also going to place it in the description of this video so that you guys can watch it at your leisure as well. Here is the article. Please, please, please read it. It is really, really good. Everything that's in it, they give you guys so much information and behind the scenes tea on a lot of different shows. I think I just put it in the comment section. Okay. It was an error posting it on Facebook, so I'm not really sure what happened with that, but it is posted in the YouTube chat. Now, if you go into this article, it's real good and juicy. But let me go ahead and give you guys a little bit of tea. And I'm going to tell you in a second why I have these four ladies pictured, because this whole situation revolves these four ladies. Now, when they started talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, they talk about how Real Housewives of Atlanta, you know, in terms of how they focused on, you know, race and equality in this sort of new era of reality television, sort of in the post Black Lives Matter movement era and post George Floyd and post pandemic era. It's kind of like they knew that they had to kind of shift the focus. But one of the areas where they didn't really have to shift the focus was mostly on Real Housewives of Atlanta, because the ladies were already working with the Black Lives Matter movement. So it was not even a thought about them featuring Black Lives Matter movement on the show, because the women were already doing it. Now, they talk about how because the cast is entirely Black, that allows the women to discuss social issues with a common understanding. Now, they even focus on each of the ladies, specifically Porsha and Kandi. And they talk about Porsha being actually testing not so well in her early seasons, but they now say that she is, according to the data, one of the most beloved housewives across all of the cities, which earned her a second gig co-hosting Bravo's chat room. Okay, so this is one of the points that I wanted to point out to you. So if you guys sort of wonder why certain things may happen the way that they happen, it is because the data suggests that Porsha is one of the fan favorites on this show. Okay. Now, I can agree with that for a lot of different reasons. I think that her and Kenya are two of the polarizing figures on the show, but I think that Kandi is one of the real agents of change and powerhouses on this show. And I'm about to tell you why. Okay. Now, apparently, the network was already planning to stream conversation, and this is where we get to the tea. The network was already planning to stream, okay, conversations about race and racism on the network's website. Now I'm going to jump back on the screen while I tell you guys this. So they were already planning on doing that, but it was only going to be on the website and on Instagram. So apparently when Kandi heard about this, okay, she wrote an email to one of the executives saying that there was some changes she wanted to see within the network itself, starting with the idea that any of the specials should be aired on the network television and not just on the website and on Instagram, okay? That they should be aired on prime time and they should feature the popular cast members involved in the movement. You know, she said this in the interview. We always say Bravo celebrities. Those are our friends in our heads. So what I was saying to Sherry is if people have the opportunity to hear their friends in their heads say, yeah, we even deal with these situations, then it'll help them look at it differently, okay? So what happened after that was we ended up getting these specials, Race in America, A Movement, Not a Moment. And then we also got Race in America, Our Vote Counts. She said, so Kandi said this in the interview. She says it happened quick. It wasn't like they twiddled their fingers and they just blew smoke up my butt, okay? Basically, the executives brought in Dorothy Turan, who used to be one of the producers on The Real Housewives of New Jersey, and another executive producer named Leslie D. Farrell. And they both worked together to produce this special, okay? Now, here's where the things get really, really interesting and leads to the beef that Kenya Moore tried to clue us in on back in Kandi Speak On It, okay? Now, apparently, Kandi's letter has some other action items as well, okay? Apparently, they didn't work with any Black-owned production companies, that is Bravo, until they hired the company that produced Race in America. And apparently now there are multiple series in development from production companies with people of color as owners, okay? Then Kandi also asked that internship spots be set aside for students from historically Black colleges and universities, and that NBC has expanded the size of its outreach program to increase diversity. Now, Kandi also says, not that any of the people that I've had any experience with at Bravo are racist or come off as racist to me, but if you don't have enough African Americans around you that are also in your ears saying, "Oh, this will be a good idea," then you're just not informed. Okay. So they did that, and they were also asked to hire more Black executives at NBC Universal. Now, here is where things start to get a little dicey. So apparently Kandi shared this letter with all her castmates, including Porsha, Tanya, Sam, Marlo Hampton. And Kandi even says that she discussed it with Nene Leakes. But y'all know Nene Leakes ended up not doing the show, okay? So I'm assuming this is when Kandi thought that Nene might be coming back. So apparently they did have this discussion. And I'm assuming it was right after the reunion because that's when all of this stuff really went down. Okay. Now, she said that she expected the other women to be pleased, but then in an email or a separate text exchange, all the ladies expressed, or at least some of them expressed annoyance that Kandi had gone to the executives without telling them. So for her, Kandi, she didn't understand why a private professional email correspondence needed to be run past them when these were her ideas. And apparently she was particularly upset that Porsha was not supportive of this notion. So Kandi says here, they say they were upset because I did not include them, but we all have our way of helping with the movement. So apparently this fight ended up in the blogs. Now, I didn't see this at the time. I realized that on the show, they made reference to it. And you'll see how in just a second. But in Kandi Speak On It with Kenya, she also made reference to it leaking into the blogs as well. So Here's where we are. To catch everybody up, in case you didn't quite understand what I was saying. Kandi recognized that there was a need for more diversity on the show. And she also realized that these specials that they were planning were only going to be on Instagram and on the website. And so a lot of people probably wouldn't see them. So what she did was she wrote a letter asking for them to put these programs on primetime television so that the people of America could actually see it and not just the people on social media. Then what she did was she asked for there to be internships created for people who were from historically Black colleges and universities. And she asked for more diversity in terms of the executives as well as the production companies that the network works with. And guess what? The network followed on each and every single one of those objectives that she put out there into the universe. Okay. So that's what we are with it. So then when she communicated that she did this, the ladies that she communicated it with, particularly Porsha, at least she says Porsha, but I'm assuming it's Porsha and Nene were not in agreement with this because the letter that she wrote did not include them in it either. Okay. So basically I'm assuming that what they saw was Kandi was making boss moves and they weren't included in these moves. Boom. Okay. So up until this point, I'm just going to go ahead and give you my perspective. For me, I feel like this. They can't be mad at the fact that she took an initiative to fill in a gap to fill in a gap. She took the initiative to do what she felt like was necessary in order to A, make the network better, and then B, hit an objective of what we're fighting for. So at the end of the day, now when you go back and watch that speak on it, you will understand what Kenya is talking about in that. And it's not, listen. Oh, hold on for a second. We got a super chat. Catherine says, that's the problem with our people. We don't have each other's back. Love you, Richie. Thank you so much. I saw somebody else say that's not a boss move. It is a boss move when you can send out an email and you can say, listen, to a network, okay, and say these are the things that need to happen from my perspective, and they do it, okay, and then they do it, and then you're a part of those specials and you're helping produce those specials. That is a boss move. Now here's where things get crazy. So apparently this whole issue in the text exchange was leaked to the blogs. And then Kandi decided to confront Porsha on camera. Now here's where things start to get real juicy. And I'm gonna show you how things work. The exchange between Porsha and Kandi never made it to air, but a different scene in which Kenya was kind of shading Porsha's work with the Black Lives Matter movement, or she shaded Porsha for getting arrested. That's what ended up making the cut instead of Porsha and Kandi's argument about the whole text exchange. Now, in terms of that airing on TV, I'm assuming they didn't air that because that would have been breaking the fourth wall to a certain degree, because the fight was about, something that was not happening within the group on camera. It was happening behind the scenes. Okay, so I'm assuming that's why they didn't show it, or it could be another reason. Okay, so what she then says, in an interview, Kenya reiterated her position. This is what it says in the argument. Kenya said this about Porsha. She says that Porsha wanted to be the only one that was the face of the movement for TV purposes. Okay. So then they have Porsha questioning whether Kenya's body is. So here's the thing. This is what the reasoning was. They're saying that Porsha questioning whether Kenya's body is real to the fans is funny shade. But Kenya questioning Porsha's activism is a little bit more of a serious trigger. No one feels like it's funny to question that, whether it's a valid question or not. So again, people were triggered by what, Kenya said in that moment. And you guys may recall it led to that whole back and forth Instagram exchange between Porsha and Kenya, and even Tamika Mallory jumped in on that as well. I'm sure you guys recall that. Tish P, thank you for the super chat. Says everybody isn't a boss. Nothing gets done with all bosses and no workers. At least it happened. Amen to that. I think we had another super chat. I'm just looking here to see if I missed anything. If I happen to miss your super chat, please know I'm sorry. Keisha Bellamy says that was totally a boss move. Go Kandi. Thank you for that super chat as well. Just checking to see if I missed anything else real quick before I proceed, because there's a little bit more to the story. Okay. So here's the next thing. A staffer from Bravo who asked not to be named, okay? Someone who asked not to be named says there are power plays and people sort of get collateral based on them having contact with executives. I think the different ways in which you assess your success being on a reality show evolve over time. People have different measuring sticks, and that may have become one of them. And then they say that Porsha declined to comment for this story. So here's the thing that we can take from this at this point, and especially that last part. The argument between Kandi and Porsha, Kandi states in that speak on it, they eventually resolved the matter. However, what you will notice is at the beginning of this part where there's the Real Housewives of Atlanta discussion, and I encourage you, please read the entire because there was so much that I got from this article. I literally, I got back from the gym and I'm sitting in my garage for about a good 20 to 25 minutes reading and digesting everything in this article. And my mind was blown because they don't just cover Real Housewives of Atlanta. They talk about a lot of different shows and people who were let go and why and what happened and all kinds of stuff. It is very, very juicy. And shout out to the author of that article. Her name is Anna Peel. So definitely follow. And they also give you guys some behind the scenes shots of the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. So again, I'm going to place that right here. And some of you guys who may be watching this on your computer, you may be able to open this up in another screen. But I just want you guys to have that information because I really do think it's of value for you guys to go back and read this because there's a lot here that we never even knew. Thank you, Sharon R, for the super chat who says, I finally caught a live DJ Richie Skye. I will watch the replay. Congrats on your marriage. Thank you so much for the super chat. Boo, we appreciate you. I think we had another come in as well. I just want to acknowledge them. We had Tianta Griffin who says, I thought they all had the conversation about Kandi and Kandi proceeded without them is why they were mad. Apparently, according to this, that's not the case. Tiffany says, Kandi didn't include the one woman that brought it to the public. Looks slightly shady. Well, we do know that it was when this happened, Nene was not in this sort of fight with the network that she ended with. So this all happened, let's say this all happened probably around maybe May or maybe even April at that point, because it was probably May though, May or June, because apparently whenever it leaked into the blogs was in about the May, June, July timeframe. So there's that. And remember, at the time too, there was already the argument between Kandi and Nene just last year. Do y'all remember? Kandi and Nene were having a dispute because it was alleged that when Nene was talking about a person getting spinoff after spinoff after spinoff, it was a lot of people thought she was talking about Kandi, and Kandi responded to that. And that was a lot about what they were arguing about at the reunion. So then for them to have this whole situation occur, it was just a lot. It's been a lot, especially, that has involved Nene. So this is quite interesting to me to see how this whole thing actually played out. Now, again, Kandi says at this point in time, her and Porsha were good. But I can safely say this. It does seem like each of the ladies was fighting for change, and they all went about it in their own different ways. I don't know if you consider what Kandi did shady, and some people might. But what I will say is, at the end of the day, that scene never made it to air. And it likely never made it to air, again, because it was breaking the fourth wall. Okay. It was about some behind the scenes drama with the TV special. So, you know, what do you do? What do you do at that point? Or do you air this argument or not? And also, we know too, now that we know the data suggests that Porsha is one of the most beloved housewives as we look at this. I mean, it's no wonder why we don't really know what happened in the room with Bolo, or it's no wonder why we don't really know. We never really saw this scene, because I feel like that wasn't going to be part of the story for Porsha this season. You know, this is, I feel like a season that was meant to be really spotlighting Porsha's work with the Black Lives Matter movement. Lala Chanel says, I respect Kandi for stepping up and getting things done. Wouldn't it be the next week's job to include the cast members? I think that, I don't know. I mean, I can safely say that I've been in the workplace before, and I've emailed an executive or I've emailed a manager about things that needed to change, and I didn't copy my coworkers on it. So to me, it's kind of like, I'm just reaching out and I'm giving you guys something that I think should be done. Like, why is that wrong? And the fact of the matter is, she afterwards went back and said, hey guys, look, I sent this email to the executives. I want to let y'all know that they're actually going to start working on some of these things that I suggested. And at that point in time, maybe it clues the rest of the ladies in to say, hey, okay, thank you, girl, because now you have opened up a pathway to having at least we know now that they are open to hearing our ideas. How can I go about doing this too? So versus looking at it as shade, because a lot of times we get so competitive with other people that what we fail to do is we fail to look at how the next person is opening up a door and making a way for us all to walk into it. And versus shading that person, why not say, hey girl, listen, can we sit down and have a cup of coffee or something like that? And you educate me on how you went about doing this, what you said and what you did. How can we all take this same path? Because at the end of the day, I don't feel like Kandi's the type of person that is not going to really tell you how she did it. You know what I'm saying? She don't really give me that. Because I'm gonna tell y'all one thing like this. I mean, from what I can see with Kandi, her life is all about abundance, right? And when you walk in abundance and you live in that type of life and you spread it all over, and I feel like when you walk in abundance, your cup runneth over. And I feel like this: when your cup runneth over like that, you don't care who gets the overflow from your blessings, right? Because you're getting overflow from above. So any overflow that you're getting is going into your cup, and anything that's spilling over, you shouldn't be even mad about it going into somebody else's cup. And so then the next person gets that overflow too. And that's how we all rise. So to me, I don't see it. I see it differently, but that's just me. We had a couple of other super chats that I want to acknowledge. And I feel like that's a life lesson. Wait, I just want to make sure that I saw a couple other comments, super chats come through. Congratulations on the nuptials, Richie. Sending love from my wife and I. Thank you so much, Lethel Jenkins. I appreciate that. We had another one come through. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm just trying to make sure I get to all of these. If I happen to miss your super chat, that means that it won't let me scroll up for it. But Dizaland says, sends a super chat and says, don't ask for permission, ask for forgiveness. And what that means is this: don't ask for permission to do something in life that you want to do. It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. Hey girl, let me tell y'all what I did. I went to the executives, and they're going to listen to some of what we got to do. And again, the next statement from anybody that wanted to do something similar should have been like, how can the rest of us do it too? Right? Because at the end of the day, the blessing about this whole situation is Porsha now ends up executive producing Bravo Chat Room. We had another couple of super chats come in. I just want to see where I can. I mean, I just feel like, oh, thank you, Mary, for that super chat. I appreciate you. I just feel like, thank you, Malik. I appreciate you as well. Yeah, I just feel like I see a lot of people calling Kandi selfish down in the comment section below. I don't see it that way. I mean, and that's just me. But I think that just is more of a reflection of how people view, the world, right? Because I do feel like, listen, she made some stuff happen, and she made some suggestions for changes for the better. That's it. And y'all know Kandi's a go-getter. She's a hustler. So the fact of the matter is she supposed to copy her castmates every time she emails an executive? I don't think so. That doesn't make sense to me. When you in your job and you got a complaint about a policy, do you email all your coworkers? I don't see that happening. And I've worked in corporate America, so I know that don't happen. Lala Chanel, thank you for the super chat. Exactly, Richie. I agree. Kandi opened the door. They could all help all. They all could have their own sit downs if they wanted to. Yep. I just don't see where she did anything wrong, personally. Because if she has sat back and then debated with everybody about what the right course of action was, it may not have ever gotten done. That's just me. So anyway, the article just came out about an hour or so, maybe like 2 hours ago. So I definitely implore you guys, actually, while I'm sitting right here right now, I'm going to put it in the description link below so you guys can go back and read it for yourselves. Let me the Vulture article. So now everybody has it, and you can just read it at your leisure. I'm telling you, read the entire thing. It is so good. It is so good. Thank you, Laura Marshall. And here's the other thing too. Here's the other thing that I think. I also think that I just put the link in the description, so it's there if you're on YouTube, but I'll place it here again just so you guys have it. I just also think too, I think that some people may have had an issue with Kandi because of the fact that she would get so many, spinoffs and specials and stuff like that. And I think that was probably already the irritating part to a lot of them. So I feel like a lot of them probably felt like, oh, here she go again. But at the end of the day, again, that's just how I operate in life. If I see somebody doing something that I want to do, the first thing I'm not going to hate on them. I don't care. Listen, I'm happy you got your blessing. But can you show me how to do it too? That's what we do. And we got to learn how to, thank you for the super chat. Laura Marshall, thank you. We had a couple of other ones come through. We had Stephanie come through. Kandi didn't owe them anything, including the letter she sent the cast. Let go of the spirit of entitlement. Absolutely. Pamela says, each one teach one. She started the talk, so now the door is open for more. Thank you. This is what I'm talking about right here. She started a conversation. She let them know she started a conversation. At that point in time, it's like Kandi passed them the ball. all you got to do is alley-oop. But versus alley-ooping or versus taking the shot and taking a 3-point or whatever, what you chose to do was walk off the field mad because I got the ball. What? You can't even see the bigger picture to me. That's small-minded thinking to me. Sherry, thank you for the super chat. Says Porsha and Kandi are bosses because we are talking about them and who are the other cast members. Thank you for that super chat, boo. So somebody else said something that favor ain't fair. But again, at the end of the day, too, Porsha comes away with this whole situation still blessed. Your name and lights, getting the most beloved cast member, according to the data from what the article tells us. Executive producing Bravo chat room. You know what I mean? Your own book. I mean, it's her life is popping right now. So for me, it's like, I don't know whether she took some notes from Kandi or not, but she did the doggone thing on her own. So at the end of the day, I don't see no reason why they couldn't. I just feel like I wish that they had looked at the situation a little differently, but apparently it played out better. I mean, it played out at least that it worked for Kandi and Porsha in the end. And it's unfortunate that this whole thing didn't work that same way for Nene. And you gotta call it like it is too. Listen, I'm sure you can all admit to this. In every friend group, you're gonna have people that are go-getters. As someone who may not be the biggest go-getter, what do you do? Do you say to the rest of your friends, oh, she is all, or he always getting this, that, and the third. Oh, he always getting this, all these new jobs. He always getting these new gigs. Why she got so many clients or whatnot? What's she doing over there? It must be something illegal. Or do you say, yo, bro, or sis, how you do that? Can you show me how you got that business over there? How you opened up your salon? How you opened up 6 salons? How you bought your new house? How you got that new car? How you got those 5 new jobs back to back? That's what we do. That's what you do. And if ain't nobody told you that now, I feel like let's talk about it. Because I feel like that's how we need to start living. You know what I'm saying? Each one teach one. I feel like when she gave them that notice, she said it right then and there. Y'all, this is what I did. They opening the door. They doing this. We get the specials. How we want to roll with it. Okay, then if I'm Nene or Porsha, what I'm doing is, all right, girl, cool. Who did you talk to? What's their email address? I got some ideas too. Boom. Lala Chanel, thank you, says, getting mad at somebody like this is so petty. We have to do better. I mean, I'm just saying, everybody got a different experience. And unfortunately, I feel like Nene had her experience. And I think that people's experiences are colored also by previous experiences, right? So if Nene's looking at this situation and she's like, I don't know about how Kandi moving right now, then that's probably based on the fact that she's experienced certain things leading up to that point. And I understand that, but I still feel like Kandi operated in the best interest of the group. I feel like she did what needed to be done. And I feel like she did the right thing by telling them what she did. That's how I feel. And again, for the people who are saying, well, why wasn't the group invited to the email? Every time you email your manager, do you email the rest of your coworkers? However, what I will say is this, and I know I'm being a little bit of a contrarian right now. But, and Nene alluded to this as well. So I don't know. I'm going to give y'all this parting thought right here. I am Annalise says, I would much rather watch Kandi speak on the shows than watch her on Real Housewives of Atlanta. She should move on. To be honest, she has more to offer without that show. That's a good observation. I kind of feel that way too. I love Kandi. Don't get me wrong. But I do feel like her arc on Real Housewives has been full circle. I think that she could be producing shows for the network, spin-off shows and specials and stuff like that. But, you know, I mean, that's just me. We've seen her from the time Riley came in. Riley's going off to college. She's happily married. She's got a new baby. She's got everything she wants in life. Mama Joyce is happy. I just, you know, I feel like she can move on and do so many other things because I don't really feel like I just feel like her story is just complete. It's complete. But what I was about to say was this. Listen to this, y'all. Y'all remember the cast of Friends, okay? Now, a lot of people didn't watch that show. A lot of us didn't watch that show, or some of us may have. But the cast of Friends, what they did was when they went into their meetings for their negotiations for their salaries. Now, for salaries, they all went in together. Now, I feel like that was some of the things that Nene might have been alluding to, which might explain why she might have felt a certain type of way about this whole situation. Because when that cast went into those meetings and they got $1 million per episode, that was the highest amount that any, network primetime series cast members had gotten, and they did it together. So there is a flip side to this story. So I had to mention that because I just thought about it. It's complicated, man. It's complicated. It's real complicated. But we'll see. We will see. Yep. Unionize. But I will tell you this. What I want you guys to do, right, when we get done with this video, go back and watch Kandi speak on it. I'm going to actually put the link in the description below. Hold on. Give me a second. I want you to go back and watch that Speak on It with Kenya. And then I want you to also read that article. Because it was 1 month ago. I'll post it in just a second when we're done with this video because I don't want it to accidentally play while I'm speaking. But go back and watch that. Read the article. It's in the link in the description. I will put both links in the description and then formulate your own opinions. I'm interested to hear what you guys think. I almost kind of want to do a follow-up video on this very subject and actually hear what you guys have to say. And the reason I think that this is such a big deal is because it is, I think, the #2 rated Housewives right now show on the network, because I think Beverly Hills is now the most viewed. Anita says, am I the only one who misses Nene? I actually miss her on the show as well. Thank you for the super chat, boo. Let me see if I missed anything else before I hop off the line. And you guys, you know what? And trust and believe, when I scroll down and I see you guys' opinions and stuff like that, I respect each and every opinion that y'all write. Because I'm not the end all be all of opinions. The reason I even do this is because I want to see what you guys have to say, because I don't, y'all are the people I talk to about this. Tish P says, congratulations on your marriage. Thank you so much. Arguing in this chat makes no sense. All of them have a level of narcissism. Would adding them to the email have improved or changed anything? Probably not. It's a good question. Very, very good question. I guess we'll never know. With that being said, y'all, I will subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Read that article, please, 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 please read it. And then go back and watch Kandi speak on it, because it is very, very good. Kenya gave us a lot of good information whether we knew it or not, she spilled a lot of tea in that speak on it. So go back and watch it. Both links will be in the description of this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one.